Warning, this game contains sensitive and potentially triggering topics such as kidnapping, stalking, extreme. Okay, so you may need to pause that one because it's bloody quick. Jesus Christ. Hello, my name is Emma and I've come to play Duality with you today. Right, let's get started. What is your name? My name is Emma. Shit. Why did it need to start pouring now? On the very day that you didn't have enough money for a taxi. You run as fast as you can, using your arms as a very poor shield against the vicious rain. It's like a sea is being emptied over your head. This isn't going to work. You're getting soaked. You're going to have to find shelter and wait until the rain stops if you don't want to catch a cold. The flower shop ahead of you is displaying a very obvious open sign on its window. That will do. You push the door open and rush inside. The pleasant smell of flower perfume hits you as you let the door close behind you and pat your wet hair. Yet it's already drenched, but you still have one layer of clothing beneath your coat that remains dry. A small sigh escapes you as you look around. A variety of plants surround you, from colourful roses to potted little succulents. At least you ended up in a nice shop. Aw, you're adorable. Pretty bad weather today, huh? Your attention shifts to the register a little further ahead. A boy with blonde hair is standing behind it. He gives you a shy little smile. Oh, hi. Yeah, sorry for bursting in like that. I was just trying to find some shelter. It's really no trouble. Feel free to look around while you're here. His smile becomes a little wider, more suitable for customer service. Now that you're taking a good look at him, he's pretty cute. You don't care much for his looks. Let's go for it. You begin to scan the flowers on display. The arrangements aren't half bad. Some of them you haven't even seen anywhere else. You'd often walk past this place on your way to work, but you never took the time to come inside. Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to get a small potted plant. It could even liven your apartment a little. Hey, You glance at the employee's chest, where his name is displayed. Keith, I might get a potted plant, but I'm not sure what to pick. Have you got any recommendations? Maybe something that won't die easy? His eyes light up immediately. Of course! A few good options would be succulents, such as aloe vera. Peace lilies are also nice if you want something a bit less spiky. And spider plants are another popular option for beginners. I think I have something called a hawthorn plant, which was bought for me for Christmas. I've had it for like 2 years now and it's still alive. I'm well surprised. He points to each plant as he speaks their names, then proceeds to explain how to take care of them. If he'd looked a little timid before, all that was now gone. You knew employees were supposed to be kind and helpful, but Keith seemed genuinely passionate about the subject. He practically radiated happiness when he spoke about plants. Let's get the lily. That sounds nice. You tell Keith your choice, and he happily nods in agreement. Have you had any trouble taking care of plants before? I can give you tips on other species too if you'd like. Yeah, a little bit. Thanks for the offer. I'll just look after this one for now. But if it's a success, I'll come by for more. My place does look a little bit dull without any plants. By the time you pay for your plant, the rain has stopped. Keith hands you your new plant, and you're about to turn and leave. Ask for his number. Don't bother, he isn't your type. Let's ask for his number. Before you do, you decide you could try your luck with this cute florist. Hey, this might sound kind of sudden. Don't feel pressured to agree or anything, but could I get your number? A small blush spreads across his cheeks. It makes him look even more adorable. Oh, I'm flattered. His expression turns from flustered to sad as he avoids your gaze. Don't take this the wrong way. I think you're good looking and you seem like a nice person, but having my number wouldn't be a very good idea. That's a weird way to reject someone. It's a little disheartening. but you didn't want to pressure him. Ah, that's fine then. Thanks for the help with the plant, and have a nice day. You offer a smile to him to let you know you weren't mad and wouldn't hold a grudge. The timid smile from before returns to his face. You too. You don't waste any more time in case the rain starts again. Better get home fast. But as you exit the shop, you suddenly feel a chill spread through your body. Is it because your hair got soaked? No, you feel odd. Through the shop window you see Keith. He is staring right back at you, but something about him is different from before. His smile isn't there, and his eyes look off somehow. Oh dear. Maybe you were just imagining things. It's a little far to properly see its expression. He was very sweet to you earlier. You shouldn't think ill of him like this. You shake away the thoughts and continue to walk home. The next day you're headed to work on the same route you always take. The sky is a dull grey and the air is chilly, which makes you glad you dressed a little warmer this morning. Perhaps that's why the streets are so empty. This time you make sure to take an umbrella with you. You stop at a crosswalk, waiting for the green lights. As you do so, you notice someone on the other side of the street. Normally you wouldn't pay the stranger any mind, but something catches your eye. Oh dear. Does he have blue spots on his face? Is it bruises? Or perhaps makeup? They look a bit too bright to be bruises. The light turns green and you begin to cross the road. So does the other person. Biker Keith. As he grows closer, you find yourself unable to look away. The blue spots aren't the only unusual thing about him. His eyes are large, frozen in a sort of widened look. One side of his mouth stretches up his cheek in a squiggly line, creating an unnerving smirk. His eyebrows are curved upwards, as if he were in pain. He notices you staring and grins just as the two of you pass by each other. You could swear you see sharp teeth for a split second. A familiar chill runs down your spine. Just a cosplayer, you tell yourself, a very convincing one. But strangely enough, you can't help but feel like you've seen him before. That's odd. Someone with a face like that wouldn't be easy to forget. Maybe you've seen him somewhere without all that makeup. You eventually arrive at your workplace and forget about the strange person for the rest of the day, choosing to focus on your work instead. It's not a very eventful day. You receive a few calls, but nothing too stressful or complicated. Your annoying colleague, Jacob, who works at the desk near yours, goes on and on about some party he wanted you to attend, and why you should have. You try to tune him out and enjoy the slow day. Several hours later, you're standing in the elevator, tired and ready to head home for a well-deserved rest. You say goodbye to a few co-workers on your way out. As you exit the building, you find someone leaning against the wall by the entrance, arms crossed. It's the guy you saw on the crosswalk. The grin he gives you is just as creepy as the one from earlier today. Did he follow you to work? For how long has he been standing there, waiting? He's looking at you as if he's expecting something. Can I help you? Sure you can. You can give me your number. Okay then. Let's be agreeable. You pull out a pen. Is it okay if I write it on the back of your hand? His smirk fades and he looks at you as if you just told him you have a horse in your pocket. Wait, really? You're not? It looks like it's taking him a minute to process this. He eventually holds out his hand so you can write your number on the back of it. You notice that the blue spots are present on his hands as well, and the blue parts of his skin don't smudge as you touch them. Is it not paint after all? The guy stares at his hand as if pondering what to do now. Confused him. We're nuts as well! Ha ha ha! You can't do anything to us. You just did it so I'd leave you be, didn't you? No, you actually find him weirdly attractive. He should just shut up and be grateful you bothered with his ugly ass. That's very rude. Bloody hell. I think you look cool. Your boldness only stuns him further. It doesn't seem like there'll be any further interaction between the two of you. You leave him to his disbelief and continue your walk home. There's no sign of him the rest of the way. We scared him! Brilliant. You get home and unlock your door. The apartment is just as you left it. Except for one small detail. You notice a slight breeze as you take off your coat. That's odd. All the windows are supposed to be closed. A knot forms in your throat as you begin to look around, stepping carefully in case something might jump out at you from the darkness. As you turn the corner, dread spreads through your body. The light in your kitchen is on and the door is cracked open. You consider grabbing a weapon, but you didn't really own anything that could serve as such, other than the knives in the kitchen, that is. A part of you tells you that you might have forgotten to turn off the light when you left. Don't panic just yet. You begin to take a few more careful steps towards the kitchen and cautiously push the door open further. You find him in there, the man who asked for your number, leaning against the counter, casually inspecting his nails. The window is wide open. His entire skin has become blue and the squiggly lines now stretch from both sides of his mouth. The dark blue eyes have become purple. Welcome home, Emma. There is something incredibly deranged in his gaze. He pushes himself off the counter. You're about to take a step back, but you barely manage to move your foot before this guy is suddenly right in front of you. Oh dear. He slams you against the wall, pinning you in place. His entire face is twitching horribly. You like me, right? You said so. There is so much excitement in his voice. But you also like him. What are you talking about? Let go. You try to struggle. His grip tightens. It's hurting you. It's not fair, Emma. You even know his name. You never even bothered to ask for mine. Twitch. Twitch. Why did you ask for his number and then give me yours? Are you some kind of player? You're cut off by his frustrated groan. He won't shut up. He won't shut up. He clenches his teeth as his hands press harder against your shoulders. It hurts real bad. If he keeps this up, he's going to break your shoulders. Twitch, twitch, twitch. His face begins to change. The eyes shrink down. The mouth reverts to a normal shape. The skin turns rosy. You are shocked to see the florist you met yesterday in place of the thing from before. Oh dear. Keith? Keith looks almost giddy. His smile is no less deranged than that of the blue-skinned guy. He lets out a giggle, one that sends shivers through your entire body. You don't feel any less threatened. You don't mind this, Emma, do you? We've waited so long for someone like you. You can't tell what's happening right now. Is it some kind of nightmare? What you're witnessing shouldn't be possible in reality. They always leave me, but you're going to stay because you like us both. You try to break free again, but the arms holding you in place won't budge. Looking down at them, you notice his hands are still blue. It has Keith's face, but that thing from before is holding you in place. What do you want? Stay with me. Twitch. One side of his mouth begins to stretch again. It goes up and up until it stops right below his eye. Blue spots start to reappear like bruises left by invisible punches. Stay with me. The right eye is widening again. Twitch, twitch. You're not sure which one is talking anymore. Stay with us. The voice is becoming uneven. At parts you can hear Keith's voice, and somewhere in the back, and once every 2 words, the other one joins in. We'll be so happy together. We will never leave each other's side. Your legs are turning into mush. You want to scream, but no sound is coming out. Never leave us, Emma. We'll be together until our bodies rot. Together in a coffin until the world ends. Until there's nothing left but dust. They laugh and pant. leaning close to your face. Oh, his eye's bleeding. Jesus. The next sentence comes in a whisper. Don't close the game. I wasn't going to. Oh, dear. Bad end? Bad end? Are you serious? Oh, dear. Well, that was a quick one. I'll see you in a bit then. We don't care much for his looks. Get the aloe vera. Don't bother, he's not your type. You don't waste any more time, in case the rain starts again. Better get home fast. No way. There's no sign of him for the rest of the way. Welcome home, Emma. You kinda left without giving me a chance to introduce myself. You know, the name's Tenebris. A pleasure to meet you. You begin to back away. He makes his move as well, stepping towards you. What's wrong? Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Why are you here? How did you get in? You try to keep your calm for now. Maybe you could make it back to the hallway and grab your phone from your coat. You just need to keep him distracted. Does it matter? I just wanted to talk to you some more. I'm not usually in control for a long time. Not in control? What is he even talking about? You said you like me. You don't mind me staying for a bit, do you? I would have brought you something, but there was no time. I did not say that. You bloody liar. He almost seems clueless to how abnormal this situation is. Tell him he needs to leave. This guy is either stupid or nuts. You decide to take a more gentle approach and ask him to leave nicely. Look, I'm sorry, but I need to ask you to leave. What? Why? It's really late, and I'm tired. It's been a long day. You give him a smile and hope he'll understand. But hey, you have my number. You can call or text me some other time. I did not give him my number, you liar. Tenebris suddenly looks like a wounded puppy as he scratches the back of his head. You expect him to protest, but he ends up simply nodding and beginning to make his way out the door. He stops beside you for a moment. You won't just ghost me, will you? Cross my heart and hope to die. The squiggly smile is back, and then he walks past you and out the front door. You're left staring at it for a few moments. That was weird, to say the least. It's probably not the best idea to let this guy off the hook so easily, but something about him fascinates you. You can't bring yourself to report him to the police. You let it slide just this once. Tenebris. I didn't give him my number, what the fuck? There doesn't seem to be any, different dialogue for the plants that you get, so just skip those. We're going to ask for Keith's number. We're not going to give Tenebris our number. Sorry, but I'm going to have to say no. You hurry past him, hoping he won't follow. It doesn't seem like he does. I think I must have got a bloody bug the first time. I'm going to have to do that again. There's no sign of him for the rest of the way. You back away as fear sprouts in your chest. How did you get in? And so fast too. You could have sworn you left him behind. What are you doing in my apartment? Just thought I'd say hi and introduce myself. You didn't really give me a chance, you know. It was kind of cold. Your back hits the wall and you begin to feel around for the door opening. The intruder looks amused by your panic. Am I that scary looking? Don't worry, I won't do anything as long as you don't provoke me. My name is Tenebris. He pushes himself away from the counter and begins to move towards you. Stay back! Tenebris stops and frowns. You initially think it's thanks to your warning, but he then brings a hand to his head and lets out a slight groan. For fuck's sake, not now! He holds his head in his hands and digs his finger into his hair. Go away! You're not sure if he's talking to you or if he's just insane. Maybe both. You're about to take the opportunity to flee, but the sight before you keeps you in place. His appearance begins to change. The blue skin turns rosy, the squiggly lines revert back into a normal-shaped mouth, and the eyes shrink down. By the time he lowers his hands and looks at you, he's turned into a different person. A person you've seen before. Keith? I'm so sorry. This shouldn't have happened. It's all my fault. You're so stunned you can barely form a comprehensive sentence. Are you in some kind of messed up dream? How? What? What the hell just happened? It's a bit hard to explain. He looks at you with unease. Are you going to call the police? I don't know. I probably should. I want an explanation. Do you have some kind of double personality? He shakes his head. No, it's more complicated than that. He's been with me since I was born. He's like a separate entity. There's no way that's possible. Well, you just saw us switch. And you still haven't had time to process what you just witnessed. Alright, let's say I believe you. What reason do I have not to call the cops on the guy who broke into my apartment? I promise it won't happen again. It's my fault. I was tired and was able to get full control when I was exhausted. You stare at him for a moment. He looks genuinely guilty, and that pitiful look he's giving you is kind of convincing. But then again, would it really be a good idea to let him off so easily? Let's call the police. Alright, I believe you. Your lie brings him relief. He sighs as he brings a hand to his chest. You don't know this guy or how dangerous he could be. Trusting him based on appearance and promises alone would be stupid. But I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now. Of course, I'm really sorry. He doesn't waste any time before heading to the door. You watch him cautiously. As soon as he's gone, you call the police and explain the situation. When the officers arrive, you give them a description of him and the address of his workplace. Upon being found and questioned, Keith never fights any of it. He confesses to having broken into your apartment. This doesn't put you at ease though. It's the other one that has you worried. You aren't certain of the fact that Keith can keep him at bay. In a few months' time, you even manage to get a restraining order. You do everything you can to make sure that the thing you saw that night stays far away from you. Safe end. You escaped them. We're not going to call the police. A small sigh escapes you. You might be out of your mind letting this guy off the hook so easily, but for now you're not going to alert the authorities. Alright, I believe you. The relief on his face is immense. This doesn't make me any less shocked. What did you mean when you said he's some kind of entity? Is he dangerous? He isn't any more dangerous than any other person. I promise I'd never let him do anything bad to you. This is kind of fascinating. Is this why you didn't want to give me your number? It's alright, I'm not scared of him. This is kind of fascinating. I'm gonna be honest, the situation is odd, but kind of fascinating. Huh? I've never seen anything like it. Is he some sort of demon? You find us fascinating? You seem to have left him speechless. Sorry, was that offensive? I wasn't really... No, it's okay. I was just shocked. People usually tell me to stay away from them. I'll make sure that they never have to see Timbers again. But no, I don't think he's a demon. You'll have to ask him for a proper explanation if you really want one. I'm not very good at it. You notice a little smile keeps tugging at the corner of his lips as he speaks. But I should go now. I'm still bothering you at such a late hour. I'm sorry for everything again. He's starting to make his way past you, out the kitchen. Ask him to stay a little longer. Ask if he'd give you his number this time. Let him go. Ask him to stay a little longer. Oh, would it be a problem if I asked you to stay a little bit longer? Keith stops in his tracks and looks at you with wide eyes. You want me to stay? Are you sure? You nod. Only if you want to, of course. Yes! He bursts out happily. When a pink hue appears on his cheeks, he lets out an embarrassed chuckle. I mean, sure. He is positively adorable. Alright, great. Make yourself comfortable then. You lead him to sit down in your kitchen and offer him something to drink. Is this really okay? I'm kind of a stranger who broke into your home. He nervously fiddles with the glass. You sit away from him, setting your arms on the table as you face him. Well, I'm not afraid of you, and I think you're cute, so I'm giving you a second chance. Besides, it wasn't you who broke in, right? That gets him to smile in a way that he hasn't done until now. You think I'm cute? You're quite nice looking too, although normally I'd pick something a little more romantic for a first date. True, but we'll settle for a short and odd first date for now. Alright, in that case, I'd love to get to know you better. Tell me more about yourself. Well, I'm not that interesting. I'm more of a stay-inside person. I'm the outgoing type. I love meeting new people. I'm more or less an eccentric. People can consider me sort of odd. I'm not that interesting. I'm more of a stay-inside person. I really like curling up with a good book when I get home from work. What about you, though? I would love to know more about you. You prop your chin against your joined hands as you gaze at him with a big smile. Oh, I'm just... His sentence interrupted by a yawn. Oh, gosh, right. You said you were really tired earlier. I'm sorry. I should have let you go home and rest. But I'd love to stay longer. You said it's a date and all. We'll have another one. Hold on, I'll be right back. You hurry out of the kitchen and find a pen and some paper. You then return with your number written on it and hand it to Keith. He beams and takes it. Thank you. This time he finally gets up and leaves for good. The smile never leaves his face. You see him to the door. It's dark out, so be careful. I will, don't worry. Good night, Emma. Your gaze stays on the door for a while longer after he's closed it behind him. Looks like in the end, you still scored a date with the flower boy. A wide grin spreads over your face. You can't wait to see him again. Keith end. Is this why you didn't want to give me your number? I see. You did actually mention it wouldn't be a good idea to be close to you when we first met. Is that why? Keith gives you a sheepish smile. Yes, kind of. I would have loved to give you my number, but I didn't want to drag you into my mess of a life if things went well between us. You sound like you're speaking from experience. I kind of am. But I should go now. I'm still bothering you at such a late hour. I'm sorry for everything again. It's alright, I'm not scared of him. Although Tenebris did manage to frighten you earlier by breaking in, you feel more confident now that you know a bit more about him. It's fine, he doesn't scare me that much. Keith looks at you as if you'd just grown a second head. He doesn't? No, I won't go down easily, but if I feel threatened again, I'm not letting you get away with it a second time. He appears to be both scared and impressed. Yes, of course. But I should go now. I'm still bothering you at such a late hour. I'm sorry for everything again. Ask if he'd give you his number this time. Wait, is there any chance I could get that number this time? Of course, it's still no pressure. He stops and frowns. You still want my number after all this? Yeah, kind of. Is that weird? I don't want to give up on you because of the other guy. Oh, wait, really? I mean, of course I'll give you my number. You chuckle at his little outburst. Do you have any paper and a pen? You nod your head into your living room and look for the objects. A minute later, you return with them in hand. Keith quickly jots down his phone number. He adds his name and draws a little heart next to it before handing it to you. You take it, pleased with yourself. You take care on your way back. It's dark. I'll text you later to see if you made it safely. Alright, don't worry. I'll be okay. Good night, Emma. Good night, Keith. And with that, he's gone. You managed to get that number in the end. It remains to be seen what it will cost you. Let him go. He's right, it's getting pretty late, and you probably shouldn't keep him around much longer. Yeah, don't worry about it. Tell Tenebris to try the doorbell next time. Next time? Yes, though I'm still wary of him, I wouldn't mind seeing you again. Keith suddenly looks like a child on Christmas morning who just found out the biggest present under the tree has his name on it. I would love that too, if you mean that. I'm usually at the flower shop from Tuesday to Saturday between 7 AM and 3 PM. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Have a good evening. You too. And with that, he's finally gone. This whole thing has been really odd, but part of you is excited to see what will happen next. A person possessed by some sort of entity, huh? You don't care much for his looks. Don't bother, he's not your type. Okay. He should shut up and be grateful you bother with his ugly ass. This guy was probably used to being given wrong numbers or being blocked as soon as he sent the first text. You might want to look in the mirror before you ask for my number, dude. Of course I was trying to get rid of you. Mean. You decide to make a run for it without actually running. Speed walking will do for now. To your relief, he doesn't follow. You know, you kind of pissed me off a little with your attitude earlier. You begin to back away, your heart hammering in your chest. When did he get in your apartment? You could have sworn you left him behind. I've been having a really bad week. Your mean gesture really threw me off the edge there. He's smiling, but his eyes are threatening. There's something twisted in them. He pushes himself off the counter and starts walking towards you. Adrenaline takes over your body. You throw a chair in his way and make a dash for the hallway. Your mind is racing. Your phone's still in your coat pocket and your coat is in the hanger by the front door. If you could grab it and make it out of the apartment, you'd have a way to call the police. But you only manage to take 1 or 2 steps outside the kitchen before something heavy lands on your back, sending you crashing to the ground. The heavy weight keeps you pressed against the tiled floor. A hand grabs hold of your hair and pulls your head up. A pair of purple eyes meet yours. You hear the guy whisper in your ear as he leans in close. Rude little bitches like you need to be punished. You open your mouth to scream, but before the sound can leave your throat, something hits you in the back of the head, and your vision goes dark. Got punished, but yeah. Let him stare. You mull this over. Any sane person in the situation will call the cops on this lunatic. But you're not one of those sane people. Besides, he has this innocent air about him that makes you believe he genuinely means no harm. Alright, you can stay for a little bit, but then I'm going to need you to leave. It's late and I'm tired. Tenebris gives you a wide, creepy grin, which you assume is meant to express happiness. Oh yeah, I promise not to hang around for too long. Okay, well make yourself comfortable, I guess. Do you want anything to drink? Tenebris takes a seat on one of the kitchen stools and nods. Their grin never leaves his face. He must be really happy you allowed him to stare. You open your fridge and name a few things you have in there. After handing him his drink and getting one for yourself, you take a seat opposite him. This is a weird first date, but I kind of like it. Tenebris's face turns into a slightly darker shade of blue, and his eyes somehow become even wider than they already were. Oh, you're considering this a date? He seemed very confident before, but now he's suddenly become bashful. If you don't want me to, I won't. No, I mean, yes, I do want you to. Consider it a date, that is. He bites his lip, revealing a few sharp teeth. I'm not very good at this. You can't help but let out a small laugh. It's alright, I find it endearing. He opens his mouth to say something else, but winces before any sound can come out. Is something wrong? Tenebris holds his head in his hand and groans. Sorry, I have to go. He stands up and sloppily makes his way to the window. You stand up as well. Are you sure? Let me help. You can't help. It's fine, it was nice to meet you. Before you can stop him, he's jumped out the window. All you can do is stare in shock. You stick your head out the window just in time to spot him running away down the street. This is the second floor. How did he do that? So many questions swim through your head. Was this guy even human? This was the second time he's done something impossible today. The next time you see him, you're going to need him to do a lot of explaining. Or at least you hope to see him again, even if just to satiate your curiosity. Tell me about yourself. That suggestion catches him off guard. He scratches his jaw and hums, trying to think of something to say. I'm in my 20s. Oh, it's too young for me. I like video games and watching the stars. I hate liars and shallow people. And I really like sweets. That was an interesting little introduction. You decide to pick something to focus on. You like video games? Mostly shooters, or anything that's got a lot of violence. It helps me blow off steam, you know? You nod. Have you ever tried something more relaxing, like a farming game? It's never really crossed my mind, but maybe I will. He opens his mouth to say something else, but winces before any sound can come out. Watching the stars? That's unexpected. He scratches his chin again. Yeah, that part is complicated. Sometimes I can't tell if I like it or I hate it. What do you mean? It makes me weirdly emotional sometimes. Feels kind of pathetic getting sad by yourself in the middle of the night while sitting on a roof. We all have our moments of vulnerability. I wouldn't call it pathetic. Can't say I'm a fan of shallow people myself. I can't fucking stand them. They'll go around acting like being pretty is all that matters. And they look down on anybody that doesn't fit their standards. Makes me want to punch them every time. You nod in understanding. He opens his mouth to say something else, but he winces. What kind of sweets? Almost anything that's sweet, really. But I think chocolate is my favourite. I'm guessing this means that chocolate would be a suitable present for you. You're gonna get me presents? His face lights up in such a way, you'd think he's been promised a yacht. The awkward little grin takes over his expression again. He tries to keep it in, but fails. It was only an idea, but now I've seen your reaction, I might go through with it. I half expected you to mention murdering people as a hobby. You say it in a joking manner. It has more of an effect on him than you'd expected. He frowns deeply and looks down. Sorry, that was a bad joke. It's fine, I know I have the tendency to scare people even when I don't mean to. That puzzles you. He doesn't mean to be scary? Then what's with the costume and all the makeup? I don't really think you're scary. You look cool if you ask me. You decide to be positive regardless. So what was so great about me that compelled you to break into my apartment? Oh, is that something else I wasn't supposed to do? So you guessed that he had no idea what he was doing had been correct. At least it didn't look like he was playing dumb. And if he was a very good actor. You didn't know you're not supposed to enter other people's homes? I thought it's not a problem if I don't mean to do anything bad. He sighs. I messed up again. Seeing him look all sad and guilty gives you the sudden urge to comfort him. Hey, it's okay. I'm guessing if you wanted to murder or rob me, you would have done it by now, so cool. You quickly try to make him feel better. Well, to answer your question, I just thought that you were really good looking. And then you said I am too. And nobody has ever thought that about me. So I guess I got kind of overexcited. Sorry. This time he's very blunt and isn't the least bit embarrassed by his confession. You feel your own cheeks grow a little warm. I'm flattered. I do admit you left a pretty big impression. Call the police. You're not going to put up with this. There's a limit to how creepy someone can be. You make a bolt for the hallway. Hey, wait! He must not be suspecting you're about to call the cops on him, because he's not in a rush to catch you. You grab your coat and phone and hurry outside while dialing the emergency number. The calm voice of a woman greets you on the other end of the line. You explain the situation and give her your address as you hurry out of the apartment complex. Tenebris is coming after you, still calling out for you to wait and trying to convince you that he doesn't mean any harm. Once outside, you hide around the corner of the building behind a dumpster. This gives you a moment to catch your breath. Your heart is beating rapidly in your chest. He walks around, failing to notice you. Emma, come on! He's now close enough for you to hear him sigh. I just wanted to talk to you. You stay put, too afraid to move in case you might give away your position. It doesn't take long before you hear sirens. That's when you see something blue flash past you at an unbelievable speed. It takes you a second to realise that it was Tenebris. For a moment all you can do is stare with your mouth agape. Is this guy even human? He was moving so fast you could barely tell it was him. And now that he's gone, the police are here. You come out of your hiding spot to talk to the officers. Sometime later, you're back in your apartment and the police have promised to try and catch the man that broke into your home. At one point, the possibility of him never having meant any harm crosses your mind, but you quickly push it away. It's absurd. You don't sleep very well that night. I'm the outgoing type. I love meeting new people. I can tell you're a very friendly person. What about you though? I would love to know more about you. You prop your chin against your joined hands as you gaze at him with a big smile. I'm just... His sentence is interrupted by a yawn. I'm more or less an eccentric. People can consider me sort of odd. I think you're wonderful. I mean, I'm sure it's just because they don't know you well. Oh, so that was Duality. Very cute, interesting little game. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.